was like 18. I was like the rest. I was like 18 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah, yeah,
I never look back.
yeah.
Like for 4 seasons. I don't do winter no more.
Right, me
I'm an
too.
anti-winter person.
Yeah.
Not that I'm having.
I've kept the promise. Primary, you can vote in.
Brought to you by Mom Well Care Kit. Rescuing one mommy at a time. You should get yours today.
Hey guys, welcome to Live Well. I'm your host, Marcello and I'm here with my beautiful wife, Miss Trina McKee, as always, as she sits next to me to the right in her pink and white and blue. How you doing? You feel so
Thank you. Is that a compliment?
all I mean, what kind of man would I be if I did not compliment you?
You wouldn't be my man.
I think a man should at least compliment a woman once a day.
Once a day. But I think if a woman wants to keep her marriage, she should compliment a man like 10 times a day.
No, that's not true. That's not fair. Oh my God. That actually is good because we got someone that can break this tie right here.
Yeah.
We have a wonderful guest today.
Team Trina.
Oh, say Team Trina. See what I got to go through all the time? Team Trina. Well, I'm going to let that slide. I'm okay. I'm easy. See, I'm a nice guy. Trina and I are interviewing a wonderful person today that comes from our hometown, actually, which is in the Bronx. Bronx, New York. I'm sitting here with the wonderful Antoinette Lloyd. Hello, Antoinette.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you. Good to have you here and everything.
Beautiful.
And you look beautiful. You wear blue very well.
Oh, thank you.
It's a beautiful place, So tell me, I know that you are family medicine and you have passed that. Tell me something about what you've done in family medicine and where you've been doing.
I practiced medicine for almost 40 years.
40 years. Wow.
So I've done a lot of different things over those years.
I would think so. Yeah.
And I don't like doing the same thing over and over and over again. So I did urgent care.
Urgent care. Okay.
Dramatic.
Yeah.
Urgent care. I
Wow.
love sewing. People coming in with lacerations and sewing them up.
Right.
Suturing them. I enjoyed that.
Now, is urgent care? Is it really urgent? Is it fast or is it?
It's urgent in that you need to have something done. People come in there acutely ill as opposed to chronic illnesses.
Right.
So they come in because they have an infection.
Mm-hmm.
They come in because they got cut and they need to be
Right.
sutured up. They come in with acute belly pain or chest pain or something. So as opposed to, you go to family medicine doctor for your annual visits or,
Right.
a checkup or,
More formalities,
pap
yeah.
exam or something. But the urgent care, it's not as severe as having to go to emergency rooms, but you need to have care like now.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's that real life. See, my husband, he was on a show called ER.
Mm,
So that's his experience with urgent care.
Yeah.
And then I've been shot a couple of times.
No.
Yeah, we've
Oh,
been
movies.
we've been shot, killed, everything.
Yeah,
in
So
Hollywood.
that's ER.
Yeah. We've had urgent care careers.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that's like in real. You have to have such emotional intelligence to deal with it.
In family medicine, I think my emotional intelligence played more of a role.
Really?
In urgent care, we're taking care of the acute problem there,
Mm-hmm.
But family medicine, I came in with people coming in with some. They're not urgent, but they are significant.
Mm-hmm.
And it runs the gamut from mental health issues, relationship issues, somebody coming in with anxiety, for instance. Real anxiety, and one woman, she was going through menopause. That's what it was all about. And I'm like, after I got my history and physical on her, I told her it's menopause. That's, and we'll do the blood test to confirm that. She didn't think that's what it was. She thought she was going crazy.
She just needed a man to stop.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely.
But, the results came back and she put her on hormones and she was so much better.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like night and day.
Yeah.
She was so much calmer.
Wow.
Like coming with someone, older woman and she's having problems with her husband sexually. He wants it, she doesn't want it.
Oh, that happens a lot.
And
It's not just I get stumped. Yeah, it doesn't. It happens sometimes. It happens sometimes.
So there's a way to help with that too, medically speaking,
Right,
So
right, okay,
after
okay.
she told me that, I'm saying, okay, she's like menopausal too. So I say, okay, instead of taking just estrogen, if I give you estrogen and testosterone, both of y'all are gonna be happier.
Oh wow, interesting.
She got more urges.
Right, right.
Yeah, she was ready. She wanted it.
Exactly.
I've been on my own hormonal replacement ceremony, but I do it through herbs. I do raspberry leaves, anything that will pump up the estrogen in me. Maca,
Right.
raspberry
Yeah,
leaves,
maca.
red clover. I use.
The celery seed you gave me the
Celery
other
seed
day?
is not hormonal. That's
Okay.
more for men, and that's more for kidneys. and
Right.
stuff.
But why'd you give me the celery seed the other day? It was pretty good. It was like tea.
I gave it to you because I knew you had a headache. And there's some herbs I know.
Mhm.
I'm not a doctor. I'm an amateur herbalist. But a lot of the herbs that I like to give you are ones that open up your blood vessels.
Okay.
Because I see you have less headaches with that. So
Correct. Yeah, I do.
the greatest herb I'm using right now with you is cancer bush. I can only find it in South Africa here. But it's like you boil it real hard. You take one shot, and whatever you did the night before, it's
it's
gone.
pretty
Like,
intense.
it opens
It's called
up.
cancer shots.
Cancer bush.
Cancer
Bush.
But
Cancer bush.
Bush. Never heard of it.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of it till I came here either.
What?
There's lots of herbs. I'm always like, well, what does this do? What does that do? But as far as the hormones, I'm finding that if I take hormones every day, honestly, for me, I don't know if this is good doctor advice. It's just my instinct that boosts my estrogen levels.
If you take the herbs every day.
Yeah, the raspberry, whatever it is. And I like to brew my herbs pretty thick and potently. And I find I'm much better. Is this crazy? I think older women do better when they take extra efforts to feel sexy.
Okay.
It could be herbally. It could be. I just feel like there's an electric pulse that we start to lose, and that you have to really work at it as you get older. Men have that too.
Yeah. The hormones.
I mean, we have it to a degree. I mean, we definitely have our issues. No doubt about it. I think men are in this day and age are losing a lot of testosterone a lot faster.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was something I think was, don't quote me on this, not doctor either. I think it was a 60s, 70s things to lose testosterone, but I see men even in their 40s.
Oh yeah,
especially in America.
Yeah, in the States, African American men especially. I don't know, there's a conspiracy out there or anything, but it happens. It is, I hear a lot more stories, and it's actually becoming more of a mainstream conversation in public amongst other men because they want to know what's happening to them.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a patient like that?
I've had male patients coming in for testosterone injections.
Yeah.
What do you think about those injections? Well, that's not real testosterone. Is that going to really work?
It does work.
It does?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, not only have I seen it in men who just want their libido up and their stamina back and things like that. It gives them energy. It gives them
it gives them vigor.
Vigor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just to know there's something there, it plays on the psychological mind too.
Yeah.
You want something that's.
Yeah, but I mean, you can feel it and see it too. I mean,
exactly.
it's not
So
all in there.
they come back like more clear and less irritated.
Well, I wouldn't say less irritated, but more motivated, more strong, more energetic.
What they came for.
More
it's really important for the men to be energetic.
They can keep it up longer.
Absolutely. It's a big deal for me. That's a scoreboard for
I mean,
men.
that's all I
We're trained, we're wired that way. Forgive us.
It's amazing what men will pay and do to get that.
Oh, because it means everything to us. We work, we procreate, and we die. So that's kind of how it works.
And I've seen it in sex changes too. Like if a woman wants to become a man or vice versa, the hormones, it's when you really can see it happening. I mean, and I've seen a man, I think he was changed to a woman, and he was telling me, I mean, I could see his hair growing more because
Right.
of
You
the
see the
estrogen.
metamorphosis. You can see the
Yeah,
change.
yeah. And his voice is changing. Oh, he was becoming more sensitive.
More vulnerable.
Watch a movie and crying.
Yeah.
It's amazing with the stuff they
That's
can
why
do.
men, as they get older, they become more sensitive.
They
True.
do.
The hormonal changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's
you're
the
right. You're
hormone
right. You're right.
changes.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah. Sensitive old men. There's a lot of sensitive old men out there.
I
Yeah.
like that you're growing sensitive.
Am I more sensitive now than I was when?
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Definitely.
Really?
Yeah. And
You were.
She
when
doesn't
you
know
were
me. She's
young.
like, yeah,
I mean,
you
it's
was.
just going
It's
by
so
what
sensitive.
I know how the hormone works. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you are a lot more sensitive, but sometimes I just want you to be like, "Bitch, come here." You know.
Oh,
Ah.
A dose of that testosterone.
so I gotta take notes now. Now I know. What
Okay. When
And
he
then you
does
can
that,
put it-
don't complain.
Right,
You
right,
asked for it.
exactly.
Honestly, I want it for like 10 minutes. And then,
Uh-huh.
then I wanted to be my girlfriend.
Oh,
Oh gosh! Oh my
she wants
goodness.
everything.
Yeah,
know.
you want a large spectrum. You want a large spectrum. Everything. Wow. That's a
Only
lot.
live once.
You only live once. You only live once. So you got stories. You got stories. These patient stories. Now, tell me.
Excuse me. So that the urgent care was one thing, and then when I did some of the experience with the sex change and all that, I had a cosmetic medicine practice,
Okay.
the non-surgical
Oof.
type. So I injected Botox, fillers, laser, hair removal treatments, things like that.
Did you do the injections that make the boobies?
I had a lot of requests for that, and so I even went to Brazil to get some training on that. But
Wait, I'm sorry. What's the injections to get the boobies? What are we talking?
Brazilian butt lifts, you're talking
No,
about?
I mean like hormones that make your breasts grow and make
Oh.
you have your voice go up.
Exactly. Yeah,
Oh.
because
Like
see,
that.
I came. I was doing laser hair removal, so I had
wow.
some men who were going to have the change, and they wanted to get all the hair removed down there, and so
Mhm.
I was doing that treatment, and then they're talking to me about wanting to get the hormones and things like that. And I'm a physician, so I know how to do
Yeah.
that, and so I helped them out with that. So that's how I got into that.
Wow.
Wow.
This was in the Bronx?
No.
No, we didn't even get to that part.
I left
Let me
the
get to
Bronx when
that.
I was 17, never to
Wow,
return.
that's about the same for me. I left the
Yeah.
Bronx when I was 18. I was left the rest when I was 18 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
I never looked back.
Yeah,
For 4 seasons, I don't do winter no more.
Right, me
I'm
too.
an anti-winter person.
Yeah,
Not that mad for anybody back home, back east. I love y'all. If y'all want to do snow, I don't do snow.
can't relate.
I
I
can't
can't
relate.
The
relate.
cold
Nah.
hurts.
It does. It hurts down to the bones. That's how
Yes,
I'm
to
I
the
can't take it.
bone, my
I can't
girl.
take
Oh,
it.
good.
Yeah,
Good.
but
I'll
some
take heat
people
over
can.
cold anytime.
Me too.
Me too.
Me
too.
too.
I
Isn't
would
that
too.
something? Yeah, but
I
some
can't.
people really they're okay with the cold and
I
they
don't
hate the
see
heat.
it.
It's amazing.
I know,
Yeah,
I know. As they look forward to it. Me, that's just not my kind of party.
No, me
I just
too.
think they just never been in real hot weather before to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, who is in nice like hot tropical weather and it's a grumpy person? You
Yeah.
know,
Well, you can't get grab. When we were in Belize, it was too hot there.
Yeah.
Belize was hot.
Every
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
100, like almost 110
Hi-
degrees.
Yeah, that's
And you
highly
couldn't get
humid.
That's
up.
tough.
You couldn't get
That's
up out
tough.
of bed. You were
Right,
like,
No.
right. The heat,
You know.
extremes are not good. Whether it's too
that's
cold
what
or
it
too hot.
is, Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I
It's
totally
like
agree.
Rwanda has 70-degree weather all the time. It's nice
Really?
weather. Yeah.
Wow.
that's
No wonder
70s,
Rwanda's
70s
so
to
coveted.
80s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice weather.
Yeah,
nice
that's
weather.
nice weather.
Where have you traveled around Africa or just in general that you've really liked?
That I really liked. Really like South Africa, where we are now.
Yeah.
I really like South
Mhm.
Africa. I like being in Rwanda a lot, but the weather. Excuse me, the language was a
Mhm.
barrier for me. I don't speak French or
Mm.
Kinyarwanda is their language.
Kinyarwanda.
Kinyarwanda is their
Okay.
local language. I was
Do you
learning.
think you could pick up another language in your lifetime?
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
When I'm in a Spanish-speaking country, it comes back to me easily. I learned it when I was in junior high and high
Okay.
school,
Okay.
and I picked that up and I speak it. Like I know how to speak it because I was around Puerto Ricans.
Right.
In the Bronx?
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
and so
In the Bronx.
so I know I can pick that up pretty easily.
Easily,
I
yeah.
think,
I think most people
because I
can.
have that memory from back then. You
Mhm.
know, it's not totally unfamiliar.
Right.
But some
right.
other languages, like if I was to live here, I'd want to learn Zulu.
Oh,
Yeah, if I was
Yeah.
here.
yes,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
I know a few words. I
yeah,
don't know many words, but I would be my desire is to learn Zulu as well.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
can see.
that seems like such a strong culture to me, you know.
yeah.
It seems like when you get older, though, learning a language sometimes seems like it could be impossible. You know what I mean? I
Mm.
speak Spanish. I'm fluent in Spanish.
Oh,
Fluent,
good. Oh, that's
but I
nice.
did it when I was a young
He was a
kid.
kid, yeah.
Yeah.
My mom is Spanish.
Okay.
She's
So
Caribbean.
she made sure you learned it.
Yes,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah,
Yeah, because back
exactly,
then, some parents were suppressing the foreign languages, foreign. You know what I
exactly.
mean? Don't speak that. Just speak English. Because
Right.
they
No,
thought
my
it
mother
was,
was big on my
but
culture. Yeah,
she was good. She
yeah.
was
I
good. She
thank her
was
for
good.
that. She was very big
Yeah,
on my culture, and
that's
knowing my
good.
culture. And
Yeah.
I saw, and she's not really even Spanish. She's Caribbean. We're from
Mm-hmm.
a place,
Belize?
Belize, and
Right,
Honduras,
right,
Central America.
right,
From both
right.
from Belize and Honduras.
Yeah.
And my family lives on both places there,
Uh-huh.
and the invaluable lessons I learned as a child living there.
Yes.
So I lived in the Bronx.
Yeah.
As you're from, as we all are from. And
Yeah.
then from the Bronx, I moved to, when I was young, maybe I was about 10, 11 years old, I moved to Cortez, Honduras. Puerto Cortez.
Hey, moms and moms to be. This is Trina McGee, and I'm so super excited to tell you about a great, amazing opportunity. Well, first of all, have you ever just dreamed that someone would just send you a package? Just out of the blue because you're the mom and you want to feel loved? A package about you, about your wellness, about your journey as a mom or a mom to be. Well, that wish is about to come true with the Mom Well Care Kit. Girl, you better grab that phone, grab that laptop, that tablet, whatever you've got, and head on over to the website. That is your way to get the personalized care that you need. What are you waiting for? Just sign and click on the link below. It's all there for you, the Mom Well Care Kit, waiting to be sent to you, waiting to pamper you. Remember, you're the mom. You're the heartbeat of the family, and everybody needs you. So take care of yourself. Thanks. From me and from Momwell, Trina McGee here.
Honduras. That's where I
Oh,
moved to. Yes. I stayed there with my
wow.
grandmother, grandfather. Lived
At
there.
what age was that?
I was 11. I think I was
Oh,
11, 12. Sometimes I was 10.
okay. So you
I mix it
really,
up a little bit. I just don't remember exactly.
okay, okay.
But I remember the experience like yesterday.
Yeah,
And it was
wow.
I went down there. My younger brother stayed in the States. My grandfather took me and showed me how to farm,
Oh,
showed me agriculture. He
wow.
had tons of
Wow.
land. I lived in a
Wow.
village. I lived in a village. And that's
Wow.
another reason why I think I'm attracted to the region
Hmm.
because of the village like living and everything. It reminds me
Okay.
when I was a kid living with my grandfather
Oh,
and my
okay.
grandmother. So it
Wow.
just ties in. It just
Wow.
ties in
It
for me.
also explains why you all live out the box so much. Because
Yeah.
your experience is out the box. You
My
know,
experience is out the box.
yeah, it's so much different than what people born and raised in America and in New
Exactly.
York have
No, I've had a
experienced. It's
unique
a whole new
experience.
world.
Yeah.
You know.
No, it's a wonderful thing to get culture at a
Yes.
young age and start learning
Oh,
those things. It does
yeah.
change your outcome.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh,
I'm
yes.
living it now. I'm living
Yeah.
it now. Thankfully.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, man. It's so going to the Bronx.
Uh-huh.
And you say you was actually about 17. I heard you
Yeah.
say.
Uh-huh.
So what was your thing? Pizza or Chinese?
Oh, wow. Which one did I
Mm.
get? Wow.
Did you like the bulletproof Chinese places where they?
No.
He loved his.
I'm a
He
hood
went to
guy.
visit
I'm kind of hood with
Yeah,
mine.
he's hood. He likes Chinese isn't good if there's not like a bulletproof door.
Wow.
Where
Wow.
they slide the food through.
That's
Yeah.
like a Bronx thing. That's like a
Yeah.
Bronx thing and everything. My
Yeah.
thing was always, what was your favorite New York foods? New York foods.
Oh, I remember eating like the hot dog, like Nathan's
Yes,
hot
yeah.
dog.
Nathan hot
That's when
dog.
hot dogs. No one knew it was bad to eat a hot dog.
Right.
Yeah, nobody knew
Before
it was bad
then.
to be a hot dog, but you cried for that
No,
name. But Nathan hot dog had a taste that was very distinguishing,
very
very
much.
very
But
different.
I
Yes.
think that the skin on their hot dog was a little thick for me. Like now, I
Okay.
would.
Yeah.
You know,
Now
What
I
about
don't
just
eat.
a
I
New
don't eat
York
those
hot dog?
things now,
you
but
don't
What
eat
about a New
none.
York
back
hot
then.
dog? Just a Sabret's New York hot dog on a New York street.
Floating in that water.
You can allow all you want.
Floating in that water all day.
Oh,
I had a whole regimen.
Okay.
It was mustard and I loved relish.
Yeah.
I love the stuff.
And
sauerkraut. I like
sauerkraut. Yeah.
Sauerkraut, yes.
And the onions, sauteed onions.
Yes, the onions, the red onions, sauteed onions. Yes, that was my big deal.
Yeah.
Just get that out anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't even think they do that as much as New York anymore.
I don't know what is New York no more.
I don't know. I left there a long time ago, so.
Yeah, you did. How was that time you was in New York?
Maybe, I'm going to say maybe 15, 20 years ago.
15,
Oh,
20 years ago.
wow.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Well,
been a traveling.
we weren't that far behind her either, though. Honestly, till recently, till this year.
Just recently.
No, till last year. Till the end of last year, we went to New York, and we was in Midtown. Went to 125th Street. Went to Harlem. Was in Harlem, It ain't the same.
It's not. What's it look like?
It's the same.
What's it look like now?
Just
gentrified a little bit.
very
Okay.
gentrified. Very
Okay.
gentrified.
There's remnants of what we knew. Like we found an icy guy.
Yeah,
I'm selling a coconut ices on the street.
Coconut icy. That made us feel like, oh, it's just like back in the day.
I remember
There's some
that.
things about
Ices.
Harlem though that just freeze in time. Like it always looks like 1980s bubble coat Harlem.
Right.
You go back in 20 years, people still wearing them sheepskins and them
Oh,
bubble
wow.
coats, talking about
And
yeah,
boots.
boy.
Yeah, the culture in New York.
Nah, New York.
When
New York
did you
doesn't change.
travel though in your life? What pushed you to want to travel and see other things?
Yeah. I think because my mother is an immigrant from Jamaica. I mean, she was
Okay.
born in Panama.
Born in Panama.
Because there was a
Okay.
lot of Jamaicans in Panama for
Yeah.
the Panama Canal, building of the
Okay.
Panama Canal. So my mother was born in Panama, and then she was raised in Jamaica. They went back to Jamaica eventually, and she was raised in Jamaica, and then she was an immigrant when she was in her 20s. So she had me in New York.
Okay.
But because I was exposed like you to other cultures other
Right.
than just New York and America,
Right.
I think I was just open to, I wasn't limited to just being in New York or being in America. I knew people who lived elsewhere. And so when I got the opportunity to travel, it was just easy to do that. It's
Yeah,
like, why not? Like
absolutely.
no fear, no thought of why not,
Right.
just
You're
do
lucky.
it.
When
Yeah.
I grew up in New York, I didn't know there were other places besides New York.
Okay.
It was very addictive to me as growing up. I didn't think it possible to leave. It was just,
Yes.
it's such a planet.
Yeah, that's what that's what I'm saying. Even
Amazing.
though you said that you have family in Haiti. You still didn't think?
I didn't grow up with my family in Haiti.
Okay.
They were distant from me. My father,
Okay.
very prestigious family in Haiti. My mother and father didn't stay together. I actually was conceived in the middle of a protest in Montreal. My parents were college students, and they were professional protesters. They were
Professional protesters.
They really were. They were always at a protest.
Wow.
Always at a sit-in.
Wow.
In Montreal, when they met at McGill University,
Yeah.
they actually got together in the middle of a protest. They were part of like this real radical black group and everything.
And they decided to have sex with you.
And they decided to
I'm trying to put this together
They had to-
myself real quick.
Yeah.
So they decided to have sex in the middle of a protest? Is that what we said?
I would like to romanticize it that way, but I think it was pretty close to the I know my mother was pregnant and it was a sit-in
Wow.
and she was sitting in.
It wasn't a sit-in for her. She wasn't sitting.
Yeah, but back then, my parents and many people at that time, Black people, were very ridiculously radical. As a matter of fact, my father and my mother were part of a group, okay, but they actually persuaded the group not to do this. The group wanted to take over from McGill, Canada. They wanted to take over the city of Detroit.
Wow.
What a story.
Close it off until the government gave them what they want. And it was the leader of this group in the college that wanted to do this. My father actually talked him down and talked him out of it. So please
Wow.
don't come arrest me. I'm not.
Wow.
I'll talk you out of the extreme terror.
That sounds like a drug-fueled moment. That just
Could be.
all the way from McGill, Canada, they talking about they want to take over the trade. That sounds like a very drug-infused moment.
Oh, stop.
I mean, come on. I mean,
It is pretty radical. Pretty
That's
radical.
super radical. That's pretty crazy. And you got conceived in the process.
I think it affected my psyche though, because I'm always
You're a
having this
fighter. You're a fighter.
protesty thing.
Yeah, but yeah, you're a fighter. You always fight. You always fight the good fight. You always
Haitians and Jamaicans, though, are really, really historically have been amazing strategists and amazing
Yeah.
fighters against
Mm.
oppression.
That's
I
That's
mean,
yeah.
true.
That's yeah.
Jamaicans
That's
definitely are.
yes,
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
guys had these amazing maroon
Mm-hmm.
settlements, in the
Mhm.
Right.
country. I mean,
Right.
you just live in your y'all gonna
Yeah.
do slavery over there, but we up here in the woods. We
Right.
cool, we
Right.
chilling.
That's right.
Whatever.
That's
And
right.
and a lot of that has to do with the ingenuity that I'd like to bring personally back into people, the knowing of herbs, the knowing how to grow, the knowing how to live off the land.
Yeah.
Those things to me bring true freedom. Were
I
you
agree.
exposed to that as a kid at all?
Living off the land?
Living off the land or anything that's just like, ultra natural, or were you like in a condo in Jamaica?
Did you live in Jamaica at all?
Oh,
No,
you
no,
didn't
no,
live
no,
there.
no,
Okay.
no. I was born and raised in New York,
Yeah.
Right.
city, the
Mhm.
Bronx, and then I
Mhm.
went off to college at 17.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to RPI, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute.
Okay.
It's an
Mm.
engineering university.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
A lot of people haven't heard of it. When I first came to Florida, and I told someone that, they asked, "Where you from? What college you go to?" and all that, and I told them Rensselaer and such. And he
Right.
said,
Right.
"Whenever you say that, tell people the MIT of New York,
The MIT of New York. Yeah.
because they don't know what RPI is all about."
Is that in Brooklyn? What you're talking about?
There's a Brooklyn Polytechnic
Yeah,
Institute.
I thought so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a Brooklyn, but this one was Rensselaer. It's up near Albany, New York. It's in Troy, New York.
Nice.
Okay.
And it's a prestigious
Mhm.
institution. Someone goes to RPI,
Yeah,
they're considered pretty smart, or
Mhm.
like
you got it going on.
the,
Yeah.
great engineers.
Right. Wow. That's
mhm.
amazing.
Yeah,
All the way from the Bronx, you did that. That's crazy.
yeah.
There's tough stuff coming out the Bronx. It's not an
Yeah.
easy. It's not an easy task. So where in the Bronx you from? Because that's what people always ask to know if you really from the Bronx.
Right, right,
Where in the
right.
Bronx you from?
Yeah.
You say you from the Bronx.
Right,
Where you
right.
from?
Drogsneck. Are you familiar with Drogsneck?
Drogsneck.
Drogsneck.
Starkneck's Bridge.
Yeah, Drogsneck Bridge.
Drogsneck
Yeah,
Bridge. I know
yeah.
the area. I
Right.
know the area.
And that was moving uptown from where I was born.
Where was you born at?
I remember living at East 165th Street.
East
Oh,
161st Street. That's the Yankee
There
Stadium.
is a rose in
Yeah.
Spanish Harlem. That's what she was at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Wow, that is so
Or
cool.
Jason
That is
too,
so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
So the hood. I remember people throwing garbage out the window.
Ooh.
Oh,
We were on the
man.
3rd floor, and I don't know why people did that, but
Wow.
so I was so happy when my mother moved us to. We were living in a tenement in the Bronx,
Right,
and then we moved to the projects in Drogsneck. That was
Right.
up. That was up.
going. That was moving
Wait,
up.
That was
I'm
up.
gonna take a
was
wild
moving up.
guess there. I bet your apartment in the Bronx was bigger than
Mm,
your project apartment.
correct.
The
Yeah.
the people
Correct.
underestimate those old Bronx apartments.
They're
Yeah.
big.
They
Yeah.
are
No, they're
big.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
My godmother had one. There was like 6 rooms.
Yeah.
In this,
Yeah.
You would
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then the neighborhood got so bad.
Changes. Yeah.
And then people think they need to move in the project, but then you're like in this little
Right.
small space.
Right.
Right.
Right. But it felt better though living
It
in
did.
the smaller place in a nicer area.
Yeah, nicer area.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
makes sense. That's important. That's
Mhm.
important at the end of the day. You gotta take that into consideration and
Mhm.
everything. I grew up near Fordham Road,
Yeah.
Grand Concourse. Fordham
Mhm.
and Sedgwick Avenue. That's like
Yes.
birth of hip hop area.
Central
Yeah.
to a lot. Yeah.
Central to a lot, to the early days.
But you weren't on Dykeman.
I wasn't on Dykeman. I wasn't on
Dykeman.
No, actually, that's not true. My dad had I don't remember Dykeman, but I did live on Dykeman for a minute, and then I lived on St. Andrews Avenue, and then I moved to Fordham Road, out there in Grand Concourse.
Yeah,
and,
Grand Concourse. I
lived
remember
out
Grand
there, and,
Concourse.
Mhm.
yeah, I was just that kid. I was just that kid, around the way kid,
Yeah.
and went to school. What the question more is not what college. junior high school? No, what high school you went to?
I went to Lehman High School,
You went to
Oh,
Lehman,
wow.
okay.
which was on Tremont
yeah.
and Westchester Avenue,
You're
at
supposed
that
to go to Lehman
area.
yeah,
College.
right.
Yeah.
Did you say,
Yeah.
Trina?
She's supposed to go to Lehman College after.
Right.
yeah.
No, yeah. But yeah, if I stayed in, maybe that would have happened if I stayed in the
Oh
city.
my gosh. How did you
But
wear your hair? Did you have the hair? You had,
Did you have an asymmetrical?
yeah, I think she had the
Like-
bump in the front. And the curled like a mushroom or something.
No, I think she had a doobie.
No, she had braids. What did you have?
I remember having braids. I remember having a fro.
Ah, yeah, bro.
Yeah, see, I'm years ahead of y'all, so.
I
Yeah,
know,
that's
I know, yeah, but it's all right.
Yeah, we're doing our generation here.
Yeah, it's really gonna change though. I mean, it's all good. No, I'm with it.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
And
man.
then I remember getting it processed and having it, kind of.
Supremed out or something.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Nice. That sounds good, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So now you find yourself after all these years. What do you see yourself now? What would you like to see yourself at the end of the day?
Yeah. Well, I've done a lot of taking care of other people
Yeah.
in my life.
Does that weigh down on you? Does that work? I mean, doing the jobs you had and having all those stories that you told, how does that work on your mental health?
I've gone through a lot with my career.
Mm.
So I've taken care, I was always like the responsible person from young. My mother knew the value of education, so she made that a priority. So study, that came before my doing any of my chores or whatever. I had chores to do, but she wanted me to study and do well. And so I learned responsibility. I had to, if you want to do well in school, you got to do your homework. You got to hand in your projects on time. You got to show up on time. So that kind of carried through all my life. So after doing well in school, from undergrad to med school, and then taking care of patients from residency on throughout, that's a big responsibility. You have lives in your hand.
Yeah.
So I was responsible at work all the time. Then I had a family, got married, had children, responsible for that, took care of my kids, took care of my husband until we ended up getting divorced and stuff. So, I always was very responsible for other people. So now I want to take care of myself. I kind of made those things a priority. So now I'm retired and I want to enjoy life. Treat myself to certain things that I never treated myself to before, and just enjoy. Yeah,
Sounds like it was a party.
I like that idea.
Yeah,
me part.
The me part. Was it a party of? Is it
Party? I know Jenny Garth. I love her. I mean,
Yeah.
she's from the '90s, like me. I choose me. It's her brand.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I could steal that, I would. I choose me.
Yeah.
But a lot of
Choose
us
you.
feel that way after
Yeah.
raising families, tending to husbands, no offense, and just doing so much for, especially women, doing so much for other people.
Yeah.
And I you know what, I can't just put that on women. I know men. I know this one here. He's done so much for me, so much for our family. And I know at times he probably just wants to, break out of the cage and do something
I wanna run.
crazy. He
Not
wants
gonna
to
lie.
run.
Well, let him get breaks. You want him to last, so let him get breaks too.
Oh, he gets
Be
breaks.
merciful.
Okay.
Be merciful.
Okay.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Please.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I think we really understand each other at this age.
That's so good.
You do need a little more freedom. You do need to you just want that peace of mind to say, who am I? If I do this,
Right. No, I agree. No, I totally agree. and you listen. You've done a service job. And we thank you for helping all the people that you've helped. Throughout all these years and everything, and getting them along their ways and everything. It's time for you to have your time too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you deserve that. You have your story.
Yeah.
You spent years listening to other people's stories.
Yeah.
And while you have a story on your own.
Yeah.
And that story needs to be heard. And I think a lot of people can resonate with that. No matter what brand, product, or service they represent or job they work for, understand that they don't get to have a voice.
Yeah.
And a voice sometimes is your legacy. is important because it could be helpful to so many other people.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I commend you in what you've done, and especially being from the Philip Bronx Zanian,
yeah.
Bronx native.
Bronxanian.
That's my word, Bronx Zanian.
Uh-huh.
Bronx.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Caribbean too. That's a whole.
Yeah,
And I see the
we've come a
That
long
makes-
way.
I
We've
see
come a
it.
long way.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
God, we've
Yeah.
come a long way.
And what's so funny about it, you go back to the Bronx. Bronx is like an island full of Caribbeans.
It really
It really is.
It is.
It always was. You know, I mean, you
Yeah.
got Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Asians.
That's true.
These
You
are
know,
all
Jamaicans.
people
you
from
got
the-
you got everybody there. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's like, and we all get along. You know, and we all just make it work.
That's
you know,
right.
we do, but that's a village way, right?
Yeah, it is.
That's a village way. You
It
know,
is.
and I think that's what keeps the New York culture and keeps our vibe going. You know,
Yeah.
strong and resonating.
I think if
with
America
people.
could just pick up, in general, the vibe of the Bronx,
Mhm.
you know, of everybody kind of getting along.
Yeah, we make it
and-
work in New York. We make it
Yeah,
work
New
no matter
York
what.
is really,
Yeah.
even, I mean, I know there's a lot of racism in New York,
But we make it work.
but we make it work.
We make it work. It is what it is. We make it work.
you
We
feel
got
racist?
Jews,
You're
we
racist.
got-
It's okay.
Did you
Yeah,
feel
white
racism
people-
in New York?
Huh?
Did you feel racism in New York?
I never heard of racism growing up in New
No,
York.
I never felt racist.
I
in
never
New York.
felt it, but I would hear,
No,
you know,
no.
they had that case. They would always have cases where, like, there was when
There
I
was
was
always
growing up.
racist cases
Yeah,
back in the
yeah, like the Central
90s.
Park Five, or
So-
Oh
the
yeah,
guy
yeah,
who
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
brought-
But I just
beat
wondered
him on
if
the
you felt
train.
it.
Yeah, if you felt it, yeah, you felt it.
I did when I went to predominantly white private schools,
Oh.
very prestigious
Oh.
white private schools in New York.
Oh.
And I didn't know what racism was, but I do know that I felt left out
Okay.
of a lot of things.
So later you realized that's what it was.
like that's what it was,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
And also I would feel around my rich white friends at the time, I would feel like I would embarrass them. I would embarrass their wealth.
Mm.
Like they would want to pull it back around me because I was just a nice friend, and it kind of felt like a lot of them felt guilty about their wealth. I had one girl curse out her mother for I'd met up with her and to go with her to a parent teacher conference, and I was gonna, you know, and she cursed her mother out for wearing a fur coat to the
Oh wow.
parent teacher. Like that was the drama of my life. My rich
Okay.
friends like, don't be so rich
Oh
around
wow.
Trina.
Oh.
You know?
You see the problem
Oh.
she has now. I went to
I
a
know.
ghetto ass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, he was
yeah,
a fight.
Kings
she had a-
Road, PS 81, holla at me. That was my elementary school. I went to a ghetto world. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? Totally different world.
Totally different.
None
Wow.
of that. Now, I started off in elementary school. My first lesson was a white school that was in Riverdale. As a matter of fact, fun fact,
Mhm.
her and I went to the same elementary
We went to the
school.
same and didn't
Really?
know.
Oh
Years
my
later.
We had to
gosh.
go.
Yeah.
I met her in Italy. We met
Okay.
in Italy. Stallone introduced me to her. Met her in
You,
Italy.
were you years ahead of her? That's why y'all didn't meet in
I'm 6 years
elementary.
older than him.
Yeah, she,
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
so she rubbed in my
oh,
face sometimes.
oh.
But yeah, she's 6 years older than me.
Okay.
And but we had the same elementary school teacher.
Okay. Oh.
Twice.
Wow.
We had
Yeah.
Mrs. Rabinowitz and Mrs. Garfinkel.
Wow.
Garfinkel.
Small
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes,
My
in a
goodness.
small world, and they go all the way to across the world to meet your.
I know.
future
Isn't
wife.
that
then we-
something? In
Isn't
that
Italy.
And we
in
were in the
Italy.
same elementary school.
On the same set. And
Oh my
wow.
goodness! Oh my goodness! So going to
Look.
that school was insane.
Yes.
So with that being said, I think that I just didn't. The experience just made something sharp for me. It just made an experience where I was able to hone in on the blackness of myself, right? Being black,
Mm-hmm.
enjoying myself. So, and I'm around Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and that's about as white as it ever got for me.
Right.
As a-
Right.
That was about as white as it ever got for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And so I didn't see an interracial relationship
Mm.
until I was about 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a black
Mm.
guy and a white girl in the
Mm.
village in New York.
Wow.
I was working
You're
a
like,
summer
oh my
job.
gosh.
And
Like,
I followed them. I was eating my pizza.
Wow.
So I'm eating my pizza and I'm
Like,
watching this
amazed, huh? Uh-huh.
this interracial couple walk
Wow.
around the corner like they're gonna. And I just never saw nothing like that.
Wow.
You know, so it's not something you saw in the Bronx.
Right.
You know, you just
It's
have no
true.
white people like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we are a melting pot out there,
We are.
and we
Yeah.
made it work forever. So it's
Mhm.
not that we can't get along as a people. It's just that there's certain people in the world that don't want to see us be
Mhm.
able to function and unify together.
Yeah.
At the same time, it keeps that racism divide.
Mhm.
Because it ends communication.
Mhm.
Plateaus communication.
Mhm.
But I gotta tell you, I thank you for coming today on the show.
Thanks.
I thank you. I'd like to see you again. I'd like to have you
Yeah.
come back.
Thank you.
At a later
Thank
date
you.
to see where you're at in your life and what's
Would
happening.
love to.
I
Would
want to
love
ask her
to.
about her physician stories next time.
Oh,
Yeah, I have a
physician
lot more.
stories.
Let me just say a few of the things I've done so we can think about
Yeah.
it. Because I
Tell me.
told you
Get it
about
out.
urgent care. I
Mhm.
told you about
Yeah.
family medicine.
Family medicine.
Family medicine, cosmetic medicine.
Okay.
We talked a little bit about that.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
injection
yeah.
laser,
Cosmetic medicine.
hospice medicine,
Hospice
Oh.
medicine. That's tough.
medical marijuana.
That's
Yay.
happy.
I did that medicine too. I had
Oh,
a
that's
practice
happy
doing medical
medicine? You love
marijuana
happy
for a
medicine.
while. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's-
helped a lot of people.
Yeah. Now, do you believe cannabis is a healthy thing?
I wouldn't have done it if I didn't believe it. I didn't know as much until I decided to go into it. And then I learned a lot about how it helps so many people.
Right.
In Florida, you had to see a medical marijuana physician in order to get
Mhm.
approved. So you had to be
Yeah.
approved for
Yeah,
certain
Florida's strict.
conditions,
Right.
Yeah.
like cancer or MS,
Mhm.
anxiety. It definitely helps people with anxiety. People, ooh, and then you get a little marijuana there.
Really?
Oh, stop it. Are you putting that on me? You putting that on me? Oh, my goodness.
It
Okay.
helps people with anxiety, you said.
Pain,
No, it definitely
sleep,
pain.
sleep. I
You
mean,
sleep
some
great with
people,
it.
women,
Yeah.
not just women, but a lot of women, when they go through the change, they can't sleep.
Right.
And for various reasons, when people get older, they have a problem
Yeah.
sleeping.
You know what I
And
think
it
about
helped them
that?
sleep,
Yeah.
and then they wake up with no hangover.
Thank you.
No
No
side
residue.
effects from
Residue.
But
Yeah.
the sleeping
yeah.
pills. They wake
Oh,
up
no, you
groggy.
hallucinate. You
And then
hallucinate.
Yeah.
I'm
groggy.
mad in the morning. Like I want
Absolutely.
to hurt someone.
Yeah.
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 So it's a lot better than some of the prescribed medications
No,
that
Trina's
people.
proved that to me
Well,
completely.
my
Yeah.
thing about the THC is they need to really release worldwide the pure oil THC pills and
Yeah,
stop
we talked
playing
about that. Yeah.
because they
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
putting
yeah.
spraying a little THC on these gun. We all know the lung thing. It's not going to work if you just keep smoking.
Mhm.
But they spray it on these gummies and these sugary things and these sugary snacks, and it's just not unnecessary.
Right.
They just need to
The
extract the
tincture.
oil.
The tincture you talking
Yeah.
about.
Extract or tincture, but that oil that just isolate the drug and give that to people. All these dressing up
Right.
of it is what's
Right.
really hurting people.
Yeah.
And those THC pills are very hard to get. And the times that I have used them, they've been amazing.
Absolutely.
So when you get the pills you're talking about, do you swallow it or you put
It's
it
like a
under your
medical
tongue
pill.
or
It's
what?
a medical pill of just the oil in a
swallow.
capsule.
Yeah.
And they're
So you
so
do
hard.
swallow it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
swallow
it.
it.
Constantly.
Okay,
Yeah.
because there's different types, you can get something that's sublingual, you can
Yeah.
get, the liquid that way, it goes straight into your bloodstream
Mhm.
actually, instead of having to go through the GI tract, so it's quicker.
Right. And they have so much
Yeah.
transdermal patches. Too.
Transdermal,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I never
Again,
tried that. I guess because I'm old school, I'm like, if it goes in my mouth, then I know it's in my body.
yeah, people are used to taking pills.
But I
and
guess the
everything.
Yeah, the pills
transdermal
take
is
a
a
long
great way
time to
too.
work,
Yeah.
But I swear by it only because I've been in chronic pain for a
Mm.
while,
Mhm.
and my doctor used to prescribe opioids all the time,
Mm.
Percocets,
Mhm.
and I can't take that stuff. That stuff makes you
Yeah.
a zombie.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you
It has so
can't
many
raise a family
bad
with
side
that. Yeah,
effects.
and it
Uh,
hurts your relationship too because what it does, you think certain things are you, and it's not you. At the end of the day, it's
Right.
the drug that you're taking.
Yeah. It
It's affecting you.
can take control over you
Right.
because you
Yeah.
crave it. So that's
Right. Addiction too.
yeah. So then you can't have a normal life without it because your body gets so accustomed to it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that's where the physiologic addiction comes from.
Correct.
It's I tell people, and some people have look at people who get addicted to drugs as such bad people. It can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
And I want to liken it to when you get anesthesia. As much as you want to resist going to sleep, when they put that drug in your vein,
Yeah.
you cannot resist it. You're like,
can't.
I'm gonna
You're
stay
like,
awake. I'm gonna stay
"Ooh."
awake. Next thing you know, you're out, and then you're waking up in the
That's
whenever the
so
surgery is
scary.
over,
Right.
And it's like, you didn't even remember falling asleep, but the drug is so powerful, and that's, what I try to tell people about taking drugs. Beware, because can take over your life.
Yeah.
Have control over it. You can't, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
That
it
makes total
becomes a
sense.
physical thing. It's not
Mhm.
mental, it's physical.
Physical.
Right.
And
The body's
body's
telling you what you
craving,
need.
yeah.
if you keep doing it,
Right.
whereas it seems like, at least with cannabis, I've never heard of anybody dying from it.
No.
Yeah.
We
You
good.
can
Even
die.
if you're addicted, you can just say, "Hey, I need to just stop."
Right.
You can get a hold of your mind. with
Yeah.
that.
Right,
Yeah. Some people
right.
I mean,
can.
there are
It-
people
you
in
know.
Philly like on the ground
Mm.
from those kind of drugs, unfortunately.
Or for the
Yeah.
bad drugs. you
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Yeah. It's very dangerous to do those other things. So,
No.
and then alcohol, the same thing.
That's just a
alcohol
legalized
is
drug.
worse than cannabis.
I know it
Yeah.
is.
Oh, yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. 1,000%.
I
I
hate
mean,
who I
people
am.
dying of
alcohol.
cirrhosis
Yeah.
Yeah.
from drinking
Absolutely. It
Mhm.
too
destroys
much, too
lives.
long.
It destroys
Yeah.
lives. So it's
Yeah.
always been a killer.
Yeah.
No one. I haven't heard of someone high getting on the wheel
Yeah.
of a car. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But so many people have driven drunk.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, but also just in
Uh-huh.
wrapping it up, what
Uh-huh.
you did the cannabis
Yeah.
medicine. What were the last couple of? Because I've never heard of a doctor who just switched their
The
stuff,
last
but I
thing-
can see why you would do that. I
Yeah.
would, I'm tired of
Yeah,
family
I want to
medicine.
practice medicine,
Yeah.
but I'm like tired of all the big responsibilities.
Yeah.
Right? So we just talk, and you tell me you're anxious a lot and you can't sleep or what. Okay,
Yeah.
Right.
it's pretty easy medicine
Take
compared
this
to a lot of other
weed.
things I've done.
Take this ounce.
Yeah.
Take this ounce. Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
I also did. I was a consultant for the legal system, the justice system,
Okay.
on guardianship cases.
Okay.
Some people need to be need a guardian when you, for instance, if you get older and your mind is not working well, you have someone who needs to take care of your affairs. Well, before a guardian can be assigned to you, in Florida, you have to have a physician and 2 other health related professionals
Okay.
evaluate that person, see whether they are mentally inept,
Yeah.
Mhm.
where they need a guardian.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
was doing that. I was evaluating people who needed
that
to be a
must be
guardian or
hard,
whatever.
yeah.
So I have to make a decision. Are they capable? Are
Did
they?
anyone come back to you like, bitch, I ain't crazy?
You trying to lock me up?
Yeah. Actually, I've seen some of that. Yeah. You see a lot in medicine. A lot of people of all sorts.
Right.
I was telling someone, some people think being a physician is so nice, or
You're a doctor.
cushy or whatever. Yeah. But I was like, every orifice of the body I had to examine. That's
Right.
not always nice.
Yeah, right. That's not always a pretty sight.
Going in the cavity.
Not all orifices are created equal. I can tell you that.
Not all valleys and
That's for
canyons.
sure.
And it was like my responsibility to do it. You got something in your ear, I gotta look in there. If there's
you're
something
grossed out.
discharged, I gotta look in
Right.
there.
Well,
You know what I mean? It's
I
like,
never thought that doctors would get grossed out. But
Well,
why
she
wouldn't
think not,
you?
though, at that age. I mean, they're
I mean,
human,
act
too.
like I'm not, but I am.
She's like,
Right.
So I don't want to hurt your feelings, so I'm just going in there doing what I need to do because it's my job.
Right.
That responsibility.
I-
I have a question. Does everybody come correct
Mm.
to their appointments?
Ah.
like
Sanitary-
hygienically.
Hygienically.
Oh.
Or
I think majority of people do. There are cases where people can't. Like when you're in the emergency room and they're
Right.
vomiting
That's
all over
different.
the place, or they have
Elderly.
diarrhea, or
yeah,
you
elderly,
know,
I guess.
yeah, the
That
elderly.
makes
I
sense.
remember a
Yeah.
patient. She came in a wheelchair, and she's like, she needed to move her bowels, but she couldn't. She couldn't move her bowels, and I had to deal with
Aw.
that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a crazy. Yeah, we gotta have her back. She got some stories. She got more in the vault. She got more in the vault. We're gonna squeeze her out. She's in the
Yeah.
box. I know how to get it out of her.
Okay.
I know what to do.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna get it out of her.
Yeah.
It's been great to have you, Antoinette.
Thank you.
You are
Thank
really
you,
awesome.
Antoinette.
Thank you.
You're like a blast from the past for us.
I know. It was
Yeah.
really Marcello
Trina
and Trina, both of you. It was really a pleasure being
No,
with
you
you
know,
all.
as we always say, I live well. The one thing we're trying to do here is do what, Trina?
Live well.
Live well. Talk to you soon.